Threat actors are actively exploiting a command injection flaw in Array Network's ArrayOS AG VPN devices to plant Webshells and create unauthorized user accounts. This video is sponsored by Stonefly. More on that at the end of the video. Although Array Networks issued a fix in May, the flaw still has no assigned CVE identifier, complicating tracking efforts and leaving many organizations unaware that they remain exposed. Japan's cybersecurity agency reports that attacks leveraging this vulnerability have been occurring since at least August, primarily targeting organizations within the country. Investigators traced the activity to a single IP address, 194.233.100.138, which has been used both to launch attacks and to maintain communications with compromised systems. The attackers attempt to deploy PHP Webshells into the /ca/aproxy/webapp/ directory of vulnerable devices, granting persistent remote access. The vulnerability affects ArrayOS AG version 9.4.5.8 and earlier, including both hardware and virtual appliances running the Desktop Direct remote access feature. Because many enterprises rely on these devices for secure remote work, successful exploitation could provide threat actors direct access to internal networks and sensitive assets. Japan's CERT warns that device owners should immediately upgrade to ArrayOS version 9.4.5.9, which addresses the flaw. For organizations unable to upgrade, there are temporary mitigations. Administrators can disable Desktop Direct entirely if it is not required, and implement URL filtering that blocks requests containing semicolons, which are used as part of the command injection technique. However, these are stopgap measures and do not fully eliminate risk. Security researcher Yutaka Sejiyama found at least 1,831 Array AG devices exposed online, mostly in China, Japan, and the United States. At least 11 of those had Desktop Direct publicly enabled, though the real number is likely higher. Because these devices are most common in Asia, and because most of the observed exploitation has occurred in Japan, global security vendors have been slow to focus on the threat. While Array Networks has been contacted for clarification on whether a CVE will be issued or whether an official advisory will be published, no response has been provided. This comes after a similar situation last year involving a critical remote code execution vulnerability in ArrayOS, which was also exploited in the wild. For now, organizations using ArrayOS AG VPN appliances should treat this as an active threat. Review logs for signs of rogue admin accounts or unexpected PHP files, and update immediately to the patched firmware version to prevent further compromise. And now a word from our sponsor. Get a 70 terabytes air-gapped and immutable Veeam, Rubrik, Commvault, site recovery, backup, and disaster recovery appliance for $7,995. Contact sales at stonefly.com for details. Subscribe for more cybersecurity news. Thank you for watching.